गुड मॉर्निंग अरुण।
हेलो।
या श्योर। गुड मॉर्निंग अमरीश जी।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर। गुड मॉर्निंग। गुड मॉर्निंग अरुण जी। अरुण जी को आवाज नहीं आ रही। आवाज की प्रॉब्लम है।
हाँ, और
चलिए,
अमरीश जी।
बस सब ठीक है सर। सब ठीक है।
बढ़िया। हमने कहा शुरुआत हो गई, अब आगे भी ऐसे ही कार्रवाई करेंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
है
एक्चुअली
ना?
क्या है ना, हम तो चाहते हैं, मैं तो कहा कि अभी
जी
एनआईडीएम आगे आए और इसको, क्योंकि हम एक्टिविटीज करने को तो तैयार हैं।
जी
यहाँ डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट का कोर्स भी करवाते हैं हम। तो
जी
मैंने
जी
दो
जी
सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज इंक्लूड कर ली, रादर
जी।
देन सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी जम्मू भी है, जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी भी है, एनआईटी हमीरपुर भी है। उन सबको
जी
कह
जी जी।
दिया है कि दे
हाँ
शुड
हाँ।
ज्वाइन। तो सब जगह ये कोर्स चलता है और
जी
हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इसको अच्छी तरह, और ये तो अच्छा इनिशिएटिव हो गया कम से कम। चलो फर्स्ट से ही, प्री प्रिपेयर्डनेस
हाँ
से ही कुछ तो शुरू हुआ।
हाँ हाँ। नहीं हम वो तो अच्छी चीज है। हम ये सोच रहे थे कि मतलब अभी चूंकि ये कोरोना है तो उस चक्कर में ये अभी ऑनलाइन कितने दिन चलेगा ये नहीं जानते हैं।
हाँ,
लेकिन ये है कि जब ये नॉर्मलाइज सिचुएशन हो तब हम तो सोच रहे थे कि एक फिजिकल प्रोग्राम भी आपके साथ करें हिमाचल में आके।
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा। बिकॉज आई हैड बिन टेलिंग नंबर ऑफ टाइम, डॉक्टर सूर्य प्रकाश को भी मैंने कई बार कहा।
जी
मैंने कहा ये प्रोग्राम करिए। तो
जी।
देन ही टोल्ड कि आप एक मेल डाल दीजिए। मैंने मेल डाल दी तो शायद उन्होंने वो मेल पिकअप कर ली या क्या हुआ, हाउ डू इट हैज बीन गॉट कंटेक्टेड। पर
हाँ
एनी हाउ,
हाँ
जो भी हुआ अच्छा हुआ। कम
हाँ।
से
बस
कम
बस सबसे बड़ी चीज है कि जो हुआ अच्छा हुआ, शुरुआत हो गई।
शुरुआत हो गई।
हाँ
और क्योंकि ऐसा है ना कि एनआईडीएम तो एक बेसिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो एक चीजों को करेगी। और
जी
अगर हमारे बच्चों को कुछ, एक्सपर्ट्स जब भी आता है कोई भी, देखो
जी
हम
जी
पढ़ाते हैं, हमारा
जी
पढ़ाना एक अलग चीज है।
जी।
जब बाहर से आएगा तो उसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा रहता है।
हाँ वो तो
तो
हमेशा रहता है।
हमेशा रहता है ना। तो हम तो
हाँ।
चाहते हैं और डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स हम करें, तो ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स भी करें, क्योंकि आई एम द एक्सपर्ट इन seismic hazard एंड लैंडस्लाइड्स। तो ये
अच्छा
कोई
अच्छा
और भी प्रोग्राम, हाँ मैं seismic माइक्रोजनेशन का एक्सपर्ट हूँ और लैंडस्लाइड
अच्छा।
हैजर्ड का।
चलिए बढ़िया है ना, फिर तो आपके साथ हिल रीजन का रेस्पॉन्स और इन सब के भी प्रोग्राम करेंगे।
बिल्कुल
है ना?
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं,
हाँ
हाँ बिल्कुल।
हाँ।
रिस्पॉन्स
क्योंकि
पैरामीटर्स पे बात कर सकते हैं।
क्योंकि नॉर्मली हम तीन एरिया में कार्य करते हैं। एक
अच्छा
तो हमारा एरिया है रेस्पॉन्स इंसिडेंट रेस्पॉन्स सिस्टम,
अच्छा।
जो एक नया सिस्टम हम लोग इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं ऑल ओवर इंडिया। तो
हम्म,
दूसरा हम बात करते हैं क्राउड मैनेजमेंट की।
अच्छा। तो हमारे पास
और
वो उसका भी इंतजाम है,
जी
हमारे पास
जी। और
एक्सपर्ट्स हैं।
हाँ, और तीसरा हम जो डील करते हैं वो है कम्युनिटी बेस्ड डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट।
अब वंडरफुल। तो
हाँ
ये कम्युनिटी बेस्ड डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट देखिए,
जी
हमने बिकॉज आई सर्व्ड बाड़ी इंस्टीट्यूट हिमालयन जियोलॉजी फॉर 28 इयर्स।
जी 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 जी।
ठीक है, वहाँ वहां से
हाँ
मैं यहाँ सेंट्रल वेस्ट हिमाचल प्रदेश में आया हूँ। तो
जी।
देयर आई हैड रन लॉट ऑफ दिस अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स ऑन
हम्म।
अर्थक्वेक्स एंड लैंडस्लाइड्स। तो हमारे तो पूरे उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल और दिल्ली में मैंने 60 इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स स्कूल लेवल पे लगाए थे,
अच्छा।
which has
तो
given
बड़े
lot of हाँ
तो तो तो
impetus to the
तो तो,
students।
तो अच्छा है ना, हम एक अगस्त कंपनी में हैं इस प्रोग्राम के लिए।
ये है कि अच्छा है, अच्छी बात हुई है। अब हमारे वाइस चांसलर सब जुड़ पाएंगे कि नहीं जुड़ पाएंगे, क्योंकि एट द सेम टाइम पैरेलली हमारी ना
जी।
एकेडमिक काउंसिल की मीटिंग चल रही है।
अच्छा अच्छा
तो
अच्छा।
मैं 2 मिनट बिफोर वी स्टार्ट हियर, मैं 2 मिनट
हाँ
वहां ज्वाइन कर जाऊं।
हाँ हाँ, आप एक बार उनसे बात कर लीजिए। आपका जो भी निर्णय होगा उसके हिसाब से हम फिर शुरू कर देंगे।
हाँ, मैं 2 मिनट बस इधर
बिल्कुल
जरा शक्ल दिखा दूं इनको बस।
बिल्कुल
दूसरे तो
बिल्कुल। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
अभी कोई गिर गए?
पार्टिसिपेंट 21 ही आए हैं, तो थोड़ा सा मेरे ख्याल से 5-7 मिनट और वेट
21
कर
आए
लेते
हैं?
हैं।
अच्छा
हाँ,
अच्छा,
हमने कहा
स्क्रीन में
पाँच
पता
सात
नहीं
मिनट
चला ना।
हाँ
हाँ अभी
हाँ, 5-7 मिनट आप तब तक उधर अपना शक्ल दिखा लीजिए, हम लोग वेट कर लेते हैं। हाँ, ठीक ठीक, चलिए। हाँ हाँ, चलिए, ठीक।
हाँ वो देख लो। हाँ नहीं, अभी ज्वाइन नहीं किए हुए थे ना। बेटा ज्वाइन कराओ बोलना सबको। हेलो। हाँ हेलो, गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा। अच्छा बैंक जी, ऐसा है कि मैं थोड़ी देर में बात करूँ, तो मीटिंग में ऑनलाइन।
Citizen shall be
अरुण, मेरे ख्याल से 5-10 मिनट और वेट कर लेते हैं, 2-4 पार्टिसिपेंट और जुड़ जाए, फिर खोलते हैं। हाँ?
ठीक है सर।
हाँ।
कितने बच्चे ज्वाइन कर गए हैं अरुण जी?
सर अभी 34।
24 हुए हैं। अच्छा, बच्चों को बता दो कि 5-7 मिनट में चलेगा, क्योंकि अदरवाइज बच्चे ऐसा ना हो छोड़ दे जल्दी।
अरुण, मेरे ख्याल से एक छोटा सा अनाउंसमेंट कर दो कि वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग इन अ फ्यू मिनट्स फ्रॉम नाउ, ताकि जो जिसने ज्वाइन किया है वो ज्वाइन रहे। ठीक है?
ओके सर। Good morning, everyone. I, Arun Verma, welcome you. And we will start our program in next 5 minutes as we are waiting for some of the more participants to come. हम 5 मिनट में अपना प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। कुछ लोग आने वाले हैं, उनका हम वेट कर लेते हैं ताकि सभी लोग उससे प्रोग्राम से बेनिफिट ले सकें।
Amrish ji, shall we start?
हाँ, we can start. मेरा म्यूट था शायद.
Arun, we should start now.
Yes, sir.
और दोनों ही भाषाओं का प्रयोग करना, इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी. बहुत
ठीक है सर. Good morning, everyone. I, Arun Verma, working as young professional with National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. I welcome you to this one-day webinar on why planning is important for disaster risk management. नमस्कार आप सभी को, मैं अरुण वर्मा आपका स्वागत करता हूं एक दिवसीय वेबिनार में जिसका शीर्षक है व्हाई प्लानिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर डिजास्टर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, व्हिच इज जॉइंटली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय NIDM and Central University, Himachal Pradesh. I welcome you all. I welcome Professor A.K. Mahajan, Coordinator, Sahapur Campus, Central University, Himachal Pradesh. Unfortunately, our Vice Chancellor sir is not present here. Our Executive Director sir is not also available due to some work. I welcome Shekhar Chaturvedi sir, Assistant Professor at NIDM, and he is a Master Trainer of Incident Response System. And I myself. तो बिगन हम अपना प्रोग्राम शुरुआत करते हैं. मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा प्रोफेसर A.K. महाजन सर को, जो कि अपना वेलकम एड्रेस करेंगे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को. फर्स्ट A.K. महाजन सर.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर अरुण वर्मा. ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि आज एक वर्कशॉप का जो कि वाई प्लानिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर डिजास्टर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के टॉपिक पे आधारित है. मैं थैंक्स करूंगा NIDM का कि उन्होंने सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ मिलकर इस एक प्रोग्राम को एक दिवसीय वेबिनार का रूप दिया है. मुझे उम्मीद है कि सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ जम्मू और क्लस्टर यूनिवर्सिटी मंडी और NIT हमीरपुर, प्रोफेसर वास्तु, प्रोफेसर दीपक पठानिया एंड प्रोफेसर सुनील धर अभी तक जुड़ चुके होंगे. उनके बच्चे भी काफी जुड़े होंगे. मैं देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ क्योंकि एज ए पैनलिस्ट का अलग से पैनल है. यू ऑल, आज हमारी एक्चुअली साथ ही साथ इसी टाइम पे एकेडमिक काउंसिल की मीटिंग चल रही है और हमारे वाइस चांसलर प्रोफेसर कुलदीप अग्रवाल जी उसमें व्यस्त हैं. एक कोइंसिडेंस है, ये एकेडमिक काउंसिल की मीटिंग 4 दिन पहले थी, मगर उनकी व्यस्तता होने के कारण ये 24 तारीख को शिफ्ट हो गई और इसी दिन हमारा प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ. Dear student, you know that we have been discussing about the disaster preparedness and disaster post-disaster response activities in the universities, and all the environment science students I think have been studying the disaster management course. So presently, the main idea of having this webinar is to initiate the cooperation between NIDM and Central University. This is the first instance, although it is online, but I had a discussion with Dr. Shekhar Chaturvedi that we will extend it further for the offline discussions and offline meetings with the different students of the Central University of Himachal Pradesh or Central University of Jammu and other universities who have been. Whenever there is an earthquake, we have a lot of damage. Whenever there is a landslide, we have a lot of damage. Now, how to mitigate those damage? And for that, we know that preparedness is very important. And today, Dr. Shekhar Chaturvedi, Dr. Ashish Panda, Dr. Bikram Gurjar, and Dr. Arun Verma, they all will join and give some hints on the different aspects of first need for disaster management plan and capacity building. We know that, as I talked also number of times, that unless we have the capacity building in our personnel who have been dealing with the disasters, we cannot mitigate the disaster. Similarly, there are disaster management plans and action policies interventions. How a disaster management plan should be made There's a methodology will be taught by Bikram, and some case studies will be told by Dr. Arun Varma. So I welcome you all in this one-day webinar, why planning is important for disaster risk management. I came to know that Major General Manoj Kumar Bindal ji also could not join because of his some other important assignments. So I thank you. I thanks Major General Bindal also for giving this opportunity and to NIDM to join with the Central University Himachal Pradesh. And on behalf of the Central University Himachal Pradesh and on behalf of my Vice Chancellor and on my behalf, I welcome you all in this 2 hours, 1 day webinar. Thank you from my side, and I revert back to Dr. Arun Verma, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, as our AD sir is not available, I invite Professor Shekhar Chaturvedi, Assistant Professor and NIDM, sir. He will discuss the detail of program. I welcome you, sir. Sir is a master trainer of incident response system, and he is associated with National Institute of Disaster Management for more than 22 years. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Arun. As far as NIDM is concerned, this institute is came up as an upgraded institute from the National Center of Disaster Management, which was established by Government of India in 1995. So since then, as an HR arm in the sense ki capacity building, training, research, documentation, awareness activities, these are the key areas where NIDM has been working since its inception in 1995. And we have been collaborating with various institutions, although this collaboration with Central University Himachal Pradesh is probably the first instance that we are collaborating with this university. After collaborating, we came to know that the strength of the university, and we assure that we will be doing more such programs with Central University Himachal, and also not only in this platform of web-based, but also physical face-to-face programs. Now about the program, we know that program is focusing on why planning is important for disaster risk reduction. So if you talk of disaster, then you see that with every changing scenario and every changing day, you find a new sort of vigor of the disasters that strike the area. Himachal being a hilly terrain, it has majority of the disasters in terms of flash floods, forest fire, crowd related issues, earthquakes, landslides. So so
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही, आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही। नेटवर्क फेलियर आ रहा है।
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
It's not audible because there is a break in the. no,
No, sir.
sound.
No, sir. No, sir. You are not audible.
I'll join by. No. Let me join. Problem.
Not audible. It's something is a problem with the network.
Yeah, sir.
I'll just join
I think so.
Give me a minute. Just 2 minutes, sir. I'm joining. Now. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I would be talking is that. So the thing, NIDM has been working for disaster risk reduction from its inception. In 1995 as a center. It was a center, and then it came up as an institute in 2008.
Sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? So,
सर आ रही है आवाज तो
then what? Huh? आज आ रही है?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
अच्छा, तो फिर हम लोग ने जो बात करी वो ये करी कि हम लोग तब से 1995 से we have been working in terms of capacity building in the area of disaster risk reduction. So, and this is for the first time that we are collaborating with Central University Himachal Pradesh. But we'll do certain other programs also. In terms of this program, we will be which is focusing majorly on why planning is important for disaster risk management. So we basically Hello. Am I audible now?
Sir, बहुत ज़्यादा audible now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So as far as program is concerned, what we'll be covering in this, since focus is on planning, so we will be covering need for the planning, how plan is to be made, and the third portion would be the act and policy, what they say about disaster management plan. And apart from this, we'll also be dealing with a case study of Rajiv Chowk metro station, which is the busiest metro station in this region. So wherein you have a footfall of few lakhs of people every day. So how they are basically dealing with any eventuality that may happen in the Rajiv Chowk metro station. So this is what we would be covering. in terms of majority of the places that we would be covering. So this is what we are doing today in this 2-hour session of webinar. I once again welcome all the participants from Himachal Pradesh, various universities, Central University Jammu also, and then NIT Hamirpur, people, the faculty, the students, and any other person who has joined this program. I welcome them on board for this 2-hour session on why planning is important for disaster risk management. So thank you very much. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we'll be in which we have first presentation from Sri Shekhar Chaturvedi. He will be on the needs for disaster management plans and capacity building. अब हम अपना टेक्निकल सेशन स्टार्ट करें जिसमें पहली प्रेजेंटेशन श्री शेखर चतुर्वेदी सर देंगे, जिसका शीर्षक है नीड्स फॉर डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एंड कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग. ओवर टू यू सर.
Sir,
You are not audible.
Now.
क्या हुआ आपने? Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Okay, I'll just share my screen in terms of presentation. In terms of presentation, I'll just open the presentation. Yeah. So is my presentation visible?
Busy.
Okay. Okay. So we go through the first session on our webinar, which is what is the importance of plan? Should we go in for planning or should we not? In terms of disaster management, it becomes all the more important to plan. Why? Because we are dealing with the life of people. So life of people, we all know that it is very important. And so when we come into the disaster risk management session, so planning becomes all the more important. Plan itself denotes 4 letters, that is P, L, A, and N. What we talk of planning, we all know that it is prior arrangement or the activity that we do to achieve a certain goal. So when we talk of plan and we say extend these letters P, L, A, and N, when we combine them, we come into the importance of the plan, wherein P stands for preparedness, L stands for learning, A stands for action, and N stands for new ideas. So when we talk of this and we club all these, we say that yes, why planning is important. So this is what why we say that why planning is important. What is planning? Planning is fundamental function. We all know prior activities that we do to achieve a certain goal those activities combinedly are denoted as plan. So in terms of say election commission, yes, we have plan, SOPs, etc., activities all set. When we have say in terms of disaster management also, when we talk of managing certain activities, managing certain eventualities to happen, or say mitigating these activities, entire cycle of the disaster management we have to cover in the plan. So this is basically what we talk of plan. Now, in terms of disaster management, as we were discussing, that yes, we are working on casualties, deaths, disruption in normal life, activities of the society. So, in order to address these issues, the planning becomes important when we go into the field of disasters. Disasters, I'm not going into the detail what disaster mean, but in general terms, the event, a major catastrophe or event which can disrupt the life, ruin the say disrupt the normal life, ruin the properties, and cause massive death it is beyond the capacity of the local community who are affected by that event is termed as a disaster when we come into the act. So and here we see that there are multi stakeholders who come in to play. We all know when we talk of disasters, entire paraphernalia of the district, local government, community, they all come in to respond. So when they all come in to respond, there are multi stakeholders, and if there are multi stakeholders, then unless and until you have clear roles and responsibilities demarcated for all these stakeholders, the problem of chaos or disruption in the coordination is very evident. So planning becomes here also important because planning gives you clear roles and responsibilities, clear activities to be done by different stakeholders in terms of managing any emergency, managing any catastrophe. So these are the scenarios of disasters. Flood, community dealing with the flood, and the earthquake, which disrupts which leads to the disruption in the life, the falling down of the buildings, disruption in the normal day-to-day functioning, making losing lot of lives, property. In terms of damage, we see that when we talk of Gujarat earthquake, the damage was very huge. When we talk of 1905 Himachal earthquake, Kangra, damage was huge. And if we see that, if we envisage or think that, imagine that if that sort of earthquake which happened in Kangra in 1905 happens again today, you can imagine the loss that can come in, not only for the government to function to come back, or it also will have a huge mental impact on people or who are residing there. So importance of people planning, importance of government planning, importance of every stakeholder planning for reducing the risk becomes important. This we see that till 2017 from 98, what are the losses? It's billion US dollars. 80 billion US dollars is India. This is the UNISDR report. So loss in terms of we all say that amount invested in preparedness leads you lesser amount to be invested in the response. So investment in the preparedness is what planning talks about. You have to invest in the preparedness for mitigation, preparedness for response, so that when you respond or when you whenever a disaster strikes, the people are capable enough, the capacity of people are such that they can withstand, and the investment to be done by the government agencies reduces. So this is why also enhances my idea that why planning is important. These are a few points that there may be more points why planning is important. Everybody has their own thoughts, but I have summed up some of the points why planning is important. Focus, which is very much important. What basically what is the goal of disaster risk reduction or disaster management? It is saving life, stabilizing the situation. So majorly these 2 points, and the third comes in saving the property. So all these when we talk of all these 3 goals, and if there are n number of stakeholders working on that, then the focus tends to be a little say haywire. So if you are planned and you respond, or you talk of say addressing the issue in a planned way, then the focus on achieving the goal is there. So planning becomes important for that. Safety of not only the people who are survivors, but also the responders who are coming in to respond becomes, if you have planned that you can talk of safety. You can also have you can if you are planned, then during the planning process you can explore new ideas how effective the planning can be. If we talk of if we introduce the technology, if you introduce the community ownership, so that gives you a lot of strength on ground. Utilization of resources, that is management. Optimal utilization, if you are planned, then you know where the resources are to be placed, what resources are needed, how they have to be used, and who are to access those resources. All this is given to you by when you talk of planning. Cost effectiveness, yes, because you are planned, and it avoids duplication of effort because everybody knows what they have to do. And when you are planned, you know what you have to do, then the control of the activities is also to the maximum extent possible effective. So that also gives you the importance of planning, that yes, if you are to have effective control within the span of control and within the within the SOPs that have been laid down, within the rules and regulations, so that their planning becomes more important. Ad hoc and hasty decisions, yes, because you are planned, you are confident, so you avoid hasty decisions. Coordination that we were talking of, unity and coordination is strengthened by when you are planned. You identify your vulnerable positions and you can address those vulnerabilities. Motivation of the people, because you are confident, you are trained, you are planned, so the motivation level also is on the higher side. Encouragement, we were talking of encouragement of the new ways. Yes, encouragement of the new ways. Encouragement of the new ways of management gives the line when we are planned, because you plan in a zero period and you can explore the new ways also, how to use them. Effective management, because resources are planned, you know the vulnerability, you know your role, so the management of the situation becomes effective. Timely action is taken care of, because we are planned and we are trained for that after planning. And when we address the issue in a coordinated way, in a unified way, without in not in an ad hoc way, with the right kind of resources, then we see that the loss and the damage is reduced. So with these are the few points wherein we talk that planning is important. Now, the process of disaster management planning, wherein we need the capacity building of various stakeholders, are one, you have to set the objectives. The goal is clear that you have to save the life, you have to save the property, you have to stabilize the situation. And with the changing scenarios, your objectives to achieve those goals should be flexible enough but smart enough to so that you achieve those goals. When you lay down the objectives, you accordingly you gather the information that yes, this is what has been done, and these are the places where we have to focus more. Then you decide on the actions, possible actions that you can take in terms of managing the situation, preparing for the situation, addressing the resources, placing the resources, and responding to the situation and stabilizing it. So then you decide on the strategies, and once you decide on the strategies, then you work on what are the resources available with you, what is the manpower available with you, and what is the time which is available with you, wherein you have to within that time period you have to manage with the available resources. So that time is also known to you, and based on these parameters, you zero in on the strategy which can be adopted to save the life of the people, stabilize the situation, and that becomes your tactics. So the moment that becomes your tactics, you start implementing the tactics that you have done, and in the meanwhile, meantime you keep on evaluating what are the objectives, whether we are going in the right direction, whether we can reach the goal that has been set up for certain for the disaster that we are working on, that we have planned for. And the moment we evaluate, that evaluation is based on the activity that we have done, the information that we gathered, the changing scenario that we have, and then we accordingly change the objectives, set the objectives again for the same cycle. So that becomes the planning cycle that we do for managing the disasters. And for each and every position that we are talking of, the gathering the information, setting up the objectives, taking these strategies, deciding on these strategies, deciding on the resources, deciding on the tactics, implementing the tactics, evaluating every activity needs capacity building and needs planning. So how will you evaluate? Who will evaluate? Those all delegation of the authority when we talk of evaluation. So all these becomes important, and this entirety gives you the process of how disaster management plan has the activities which goes on. So this is what my presentation is all about. And then we will take on the questions in the end of the sessions. So thank you very much. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Gaurav, please. Okay, thank you. Now I will share a case study, that is of Rajiv Chowk metro station. Is my screen is visible, sir?
Your screen is visible, but your presentation is starting. It is not on the screen right now. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay, sir. To discuss this first slide of a coronavirus precautions, we have to wear a mask properly. सही तरीके से हमें मास्क पहनना है, ऐसा नहीं कि ढील करना है, कुछ भी कपड़ा लगा देना है, इस तरह से नहीं. We have to wear a mask properly. Second point, we have to wash your hand with soap and water. हमें अपने हाथ जो है साबुन के साथ धोने हैं, पानी के साथ धोने हैं. नाक मुंह से छूने से बचना है. Avoid touching eyes, nose and mouth. And keep सामाजिक दूरी बना के रखनी है. Keep social distancing and clean surfaces regularly. This is a mandate of NIDM, so we have to put this slide firstly. Now we have to discuss our Rajiv Chowk metro station, a DM plan of Rajiv station. Rajiv Chowk metro station is situated in New Delhi. It is the busiest metro in the country only, and in Delhi also. So this metro station, we fall on daily basis about 6 to 7 lakh people which commute to Delhi from this metro. So it is a metro station and it have a very load. So इसकी जो है कि इसके ऊपर बड़ा लोड है, बड़ी चीजें बहुत ज्यादा काम हो रही हैं, बड़ा काम होता है, बहुत ज्यादा कम्युनिकेट करते हैं यहाँ पे, सुबह से शाम इसमें बड़ा रश होता है. तो इसका मेट्रो स्टेशन के ऊपर स्टडी डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा आप सभी के साथ में, किस तरह से क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, क्या अच्छाई है मेट्रो स्टेशन के पास में. तो स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम क्या थी जब मैंने स्टडी करी थी, तो क्राउड प्लेसेस जो होती है, स्पेशली टू स्टैम्पेड, टेररिस्ट अटैक एटसेट्रा, इस तरह के जो भी एक्टिविटी के लिए बहुत ज्यादा, स्पेशली जो क्राउडेड प्लेस है वो बहुत ज्यादा प्रोन होती है. क्राउड के लिए हो सकती है, स्टैम्पेड हो सकता है, टेररिस्ट अटैक हो सकता है, ये डिजास्टर्स हो सकते हैं. तो hence proper measures should be taken to make the safer place. Rajiv Chowk metro station is of Delhi's most crowded station. The frequency of passengers is increasing by day, near to market in Connaught Place. Connaught Place के पास, Connaught Place as we know, अगर हम बात करें दिल्ली में, तो Connaught Place एक बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है दिल्ली का, जिसके इर्द गिर्द लोगों का जो है, लोग बाग आते रहते हैं, लोग बाग विजिट करते रहते हैं, और उसी के बीच में हमारे मेट्रो स्टेशन बना हुआ है. तो राजीव चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन क्या है कि प्रोन ज्यादा हो गया है डिजास्टर्स के लिए, स्टैम्पेड और टेररिस्ट अटैक, क्योंकि मार्केट की जो है लगाव के कारण, मार्केट होने के. So surveys will be helping in knowing the hazards, vulnerability and risk of the metro station with the metro station. जो सर्वे हुआ, इससे हमें पता चला कि कौन से hazards हैं, क्या रिस्क है, किस तरह की चीजें, ये मैंने फोकस किया. तो स्टडी का जो फोकस था वो था द स्टडी आल्सो ऑफ डिजास्टर प्रोनेस ऑफ राजीव चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन की जो प्रोनेस है वो क्या क्या हो सकती है, या फिर प्रिपेयर्डनेस जो है लोगों की क्या है, मेट्रो स्टाफ की क्या है, इस तरह की चीजें. तो रिसर्च ऑब्जेक्टिव जो थे स्टडी के, टू फाइंड आउट द हजार्ड प्रोनेस ऑफ राजीव चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन, कौन कौन से हजार्ड जो लाइकली हैं, जो वहां पे एक ऑब्जेक्टिव रहा. दूसरा, एसेस द वल्नरेबिलिटी ऑफ मेट्रो स्टेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ एरिया एंड कम्युनिटर्स, कि एक तो एरिया की वल्नरेबिलिटी क्या थी, वल्नरेबिलिटी क्या थी, एक जो लोग कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, रोज इधर से जाते हैं आते हैं, कम्युनिकेटर्स हैं, उनकी वल्नरेबिलिटी क्या थी. टू एसेस द कैपेसिटी ऑफ राजीव चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन, कैपेसिटी जानना और कैपेसिटी पता होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर हमें क्षमताएं नहीं पता है अपनी चीजों की कि भाई हम क्या, हमारे लिए क्या चीजें अच्छी हैं, क्या बुरी हैं, या फिर क्या हमारी कैपेसिटी है, हमारे पास कौन सा औजार है, हमारे पास कौन से मटेरियल हैं, कि हम अगर कोई भी डिजास्टर होता है तो उसमें यूज कर सकते हैं. तो एग्जामिन metro station for the various hazards. की प्रिपेयर्डनेस क्या है वेरियस हजार के लिए, मेट्रो स्टाफ की, सीआई सर्विस स्टाफ की, लोग जो जा रहे हैं रोज डेली कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, जाने आने वाले लोग हैं, उनकी क्या है। तो अगर कोई बड़ा डिजास्टर हो जाता है, सपोज करो अर्थक्वेक हो जाए या स्टैम्पीड हो जाए या फिर कोई फोर्स अलार्म जाए, तो क्या प्रिपेयर्डनेस है, ये सब जानना था इस स्टडी के अंदर। आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द पॉइंट्स, द हैजार्ड एंड पॉसिबल वे टू मेक दीस पॉइंट्स रेजिलिएंट। फिर कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी थे। क्वेश्चंस तो वो क्या थे, विच आर द हैजार्ड्स दैट आर ग्रेटर लाइक्लीहुड इन द अकरेंस ऑफ मेट्रो स्टेशन। कौन सा वो सबसे बड़ा मेजर डिजास्टर है जो हैजार्ड्स हो सकते हैं मेट्रो स्टेशन के अंदर। आर हैजार्ड्स व्हिच कैन इफेक्ट द पैसेंजर्स एंड एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द मेट्रो स्टेशन। कोई एक डिजास्टर के अलावा दूसरा डिजास्टर भी। Where are the vulnerable areas located in the metro stations? What are the hazards in the passengers and employees which require priority concentration? The level of preparedness of metro station staff और managers. तो ये क्वेश्चन इस तरह की चीजें हैं, तो क्या क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं, क्या लोग क्या रिप्लाई देंगे, तो उसके बेसिस हुआ कि हम केस स्टडी करने कंप्लीट करने लगे, उसमें पॉसिबल हैजार्ड्स जो हैं वो अर्थ हो सकता है, स्टैम्पेड हो सकता है, फायर है, बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट है, एपिडेमिक्स है एंड सीबीआर है। मेजर डिजास्टर्स हैं जो मेट्रो स्टेशन पर लाइकली हैं, लाइक हो सकते हैं और हो भी सकते हैं, बट अभी तक ऐसा नहीं हुआ है फॉर द गुड सेक, बट दिस कैन बी अ पॉसिबल हैजार्ड, जो कि एक मेट्रो स्टेशन की अगर हम बात करें पर्सपेक्टिव से तो ये चीजें हो सकती हैं वहां पे। उसमें क्या है कि अर्थक्वेक अगर आता है तो वर्नेबल क्या है, एंटायर मेट्रो स्टेशन वर्नेबल है, नियर बाय एरिया वर्नेबल, मार्केट्स वर्नेबल है, और वर्नेबल पॉपुलेशन कौन है, ऑल द पैसेंजर्स और एम्प्लॉयज, क्योंकि बिकॉज दे फर्स्ट जो इफेक्ट होंगे इस अगर डिजास्टर आता है तो प्लेसेस नियर टू द ईटरी शॉप्स, जो शॉप्स हैं जो अंदर मेट्रो स्टेशन के अंदर में ईटरी शॉप्स होते हैं वो वर्नेबल है, बाहर का जो थोड़ा मार्केट है वो वर्नेबल है, पैसेंजर प्रेजेंट्स इन द शॉप्स, पैसेंजर प्रेजेंट इन द पैसेज वर्नेबल है, ये लोग क्या है वर्नेबल है उस आग के डिजास्टर से अगर हो। स्टैम्पेड के लिए क्या है कि जो वेटिंग एरिया होता है वो छोटा होता है, उसमें एकदम अगर रश हो जाता है, सपोज करो मेट्रो स्टेशन के बीच में अगर हम खड़े हैं, मतलब टाइम लग रहा है, मेट्रो स्टेशन में मेट्रो नहीं आ रही है और गलती से एक अलार्म हो जाए कि यहाँ पे कुछ भगदड़ होने वाली है, तो जो डिस्टेंस है दोनों का वो बहुत कम है, तो वेटिंग एरिया का जो स्टेयर केसेस है उन पे बड़े भगदड़ हो सकती है, स्टैम्पेड हो सकता है, लार्ज नंबर में लोग बाग इफेक्ट हो सकते हैं, केमिकल इमरजेंसी हो सकती है, कोई भी केमिकल डाल के कहीं भी रख के छोटी सी जगह में हमें नहीं पता है कौन, तो कॉम्पैक्टनेस ऑफ मेट्रो स्टेशन मेक्स प्रोन टू द केमिकल इमरजेंसी थ्रू द और ऑल द पीपल प्रेजेंट इन द मेट्रो स्टेशंस आर वर्नेबल। Bomb blast, entrance of gates and the passenger toward the checking point. जो checking point जहाँ लोग checking चीजें जहाँ से लोग अंदर में काफी दूर है, तो जो वहां पे क्या है कोई भी बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हो सकता है, कोई हो सकती है। नंबर ऑफ पीपल दोज हु कैन अंदर हैं, जो लोग पैसेज में हैं, जो लोग अंदर चेकिंग करा रहे हैं, वो लोग क्या है वल्नरेबल हो जाएंगे। स्टॉर्म के केस में क्या है, वन ऑफ द मेट्रो स्टेशन टनल ओपन, द मेट्रो अराइव एंड डिपार्चर टेक वल्नरेबल टू all the passengers and the commuters waiting inside the metro station become more vulnerable. फ्लड के लिए अभी तक कोई फ्लड का केस नहीं आया, बट फ्लड के लिए भी वल्नरेबल है। Flood is a more or over not possible in the metro station, but Raji Chowk falls in the low line, so it may be affected due to the high rainfall in the Delhi NCR region and also due to the ड्रेनेज सिस्टम। अगर ये होता है तो वोल सिस्टम क्या होता है, कोलैप्स कर जाता है, वोल कम्यूटर स्टाफ होंगे वो दिक्कत में आ जाएंगे, सीएसएफ स्टाफ इज नॉट एबल, although there is no rare chances of flood situation, but if possible अगर सिचुएशन होती है तो सब कुछ कोलैप्स कर जाएगा। तो हम सब जानते हैं दिल्ली में कुछ काफी साल पहले 2-3 साल काफी चेकिंग पॉइंट है वो काफी दूर होते हैं। All metro premises totally equal to the effect open passage through the which community travels to reach the CSF checking point is more danger. All the people able to the metro stations are more vulnerable to this terrorist attack. Collision of metro, spot where the incident occurred due to the system failure, there may be a chances of collision of metros. The more people inside the metro are traveling are more vulnerable to this disaster. Nuclear disaster. Of all gate is vulnerable as there is less security is available and few cameras are working. Cameras कुछ ही काम कर रहे हैं. Due to the availability of the different market like Palika, Janpat, etc., which make people more reason to explosive of activities for the terrorist. Everyone present at matters. ये तो डिजास्टर तो है ही, लेकिन जो प्रेजेंट लोग प्रेजेंट रहेंगे, सीएसएफ के लोग रहेंगे, डेली रहेंगे, वो मोर वनरेबल है. और प्लेसेस क्या वनरेबल है? किसी भी तरह का डिजास्टर होता है तो जो मार्केट का एरिया वनरेबल है, जो लोग अंदर है, मेट्रो स्टेशन का, मेट्रो प्रेमिसेस है, वो सब वनरेबल है. इस तरह से हीट वेव के लिए भी वनरेबल है. टनल्स के अंदर जब मेट्रो निकलती है, जाती है, तो बहुत तेजी से हवा निकलती है और हीट गर्मियों के टाइम पे बड़ा हीट प्रोड्यूस करती है वो. फिर रिकमेंडेशन, तो रिकमेंडेशन वी टू रिकमेंडेट कि भाई प्लान जो आपने करना है, किस तरह से प्लान करना है. अपने आप को मेट्रो स्टेशन दे रहा है, करीबन 6 लाख के आसपास के रोज की किलोमीटर्स जा रहे हैं, आ रहे हैं, तो उसको बढ़ाने के लिए मैंने कुछ सजेस्ट दिए गए स्टडी के थ्रू. तो व्हाट आर द सजेशन? फर्स्ट है इंक्रीज द पैसेज सिक्योरिटी. Massive gap between the checking point of the CISF and the main entrance of the Raji Chowk metro station. Possibility of terrorist attack or attack of a bomb blast in this identified can be result in loss of life and injuries to the many people. But second possible recommendation is increase in the number of CCTV cameras. There is a need to increase the CCTV surveillance in the passage by which community travel after crossing the AFS gate. Medical room. There should be a medical room at Raji Chowk metro station which can facilitate the people in case of incident any to be medical and rest for traveler. Community is felt for medical room should be there. Another recommendation is that evacuation maps. There should be evacuation routes. Maps should be placed. यही मेट्रो स्टेशन के लिए नहीं है. ये अगर हम बात करें यूनिवर्सिटी का, अगर हमने मैप हमने HRB एनालिसिस करना है. एज अ मैं स्टूडेंट रहा हूँ पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी चंडीगढ़ का, मैंने केस स्टडी किया था. राजी चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन की जगह वहां पे मैंने केस स्टडी किया था. 1000 प्रोफाइल ऑफ मैचन माजन बॉयज हॉस्टल का मैंने वल्नरेबिलिटी प्रोफाइल निकाला था. तो उसमें भी ये करके कि भाई हमें हॉस्टल में क्या है कि एवेक्यूएशन मैप जरूर बताने हैं कि अगर कोई भी इमरजेंसी. मेरे साथ कैसा हुआ, ये हुआ कि हमने देखा कि कुछ दिन हॉस्टल में क्या हुआ कि कम मैग्नीट्यूड का था, बट लोगों की भगदड़ इतनी हुई कि कुछ लोग फर्स्ट फ्लोर से जंप कर गए. तो उसमें 2 लोगों की पैर टूट गया था, हड्डी क्रैक हो गई थी. तो वो नुकसान ही है. तो इसलिए हमें जरूरी है मैप डिफरेंट लोकेशन पे बताने चले कि इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी अगर कुछ भी होता है तो हमारे पास मैप होने चाहिए जिनको देख के हम फॉलो करते हुए बाहर निकल सके आसानी से. तो ये एक रिकमेंडेशन. सेफ वीडियो होनी चाहिए लोकेशंस पे, सेफ्टी वीडियोस प्ले होनी चाहिए डिफरेंट लोकेशंस पे कि भाई अगर ये कुछ होता है नहीं जी. हालांकि मेट्रो में बहुत लोग बहुत अंदर से अपना इस तरह के अनाउंसमेंट करती रहती है. मेट्रो के अंदर अनाउंसमेंट होते रहते हैं सेफ्टी टिप्स के ऊपर. उसकी क्या है कि वीडियो लोकेशन, क्योंकि जो क्या है कि जो लोग ट्रैवल करते हैं, कुछ लोग पढ़े हुए हैं, कुछ लोग अनपढ़ नहीं है. तो जो पढ़े लिखे नहीं है उनको भी समझ में आनी चाहिए चीजें. वो वीडियो देख के समझ सकते हैं कि भाई इस तरह की चीजें हमें देखनी है. अगर कोई भी डिजास्टर होता है, कोई भी एपिडेमिक्स आता है, कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो हम इस चीज का फॉलो करते हुए निकल सकते हैं चीजों से. फिर क्या है बायोलॉजिकल डिजास्टर. तो some safety measures should be also be taken from the metro station. In the field of biological disaster, there should be some advertisement should be placed at different places in the metro station premises for the safety tips of the people. अब एक और हमने डेपुटेशन ऑफ फॉर द मोर CFA स्टाफ, जो गार्ड का स्टाफ है, जो लोग वो देख रहे हैं, वो पैसेज में भी होने चाहिए. क्योंकि क्या है कि प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन. और एक रिकमेंडेशन था कोऑर्डिनेशन बिटवीन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन शुड बी ऑटो एजेंसी शुड बी. बहुत ज्यादा अपने आप को मजबूत करने की जरूरत है कि कोई भी डिजास्टर होता है, कोई भी क्लैमिटी होती है, तो वी कैन टेक इट. रेगुलर मॉक ड्रिल शुड बी कंडक्टेड and lacunas if any must be initiated. Regular जो हमें मॉक ड्रिल हमारे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का। यही नहीं है कि सिर्फ पुलिस अगर कोई मॉक ड्रिल करा रही है तो उससे पुलिस का भागीदारी ना दिखाए, ऐसा नहीं। तो मॉक ड्रिल होनी चाहिए प्रॉपर, सबको एक बार कंबाइन लेके डेली जाने वाले आने जाने वाले लोगों को भी करो, उनको बताओ, उनको समझाओ। एक मॉक ड्रिल रेगुलर होना चाहिए, रेगुलर एक्टिविटीज में होते रहना चाहिए। टेलीफोन नंबर स्टेशन ऑफिसर्स शुड बी डिस्प्लेड एट वेरियस प्लेस इन नंबर जो है वो दिख चाहिए बना कि अगर कोई भी केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी होता है, कुछ भी होता है, तो उसमें हम डायल कर सकें पीपल को। प्रायर इन्फॉर्मेशन बिटवीन द मेथड ऑफ विच एंड गार्ड ड्राइवर्स इज टेकन। जो हमारे अंदर क्या होता है कि कुछ पीडब्ल्यू के होते हैं जो थोड़ा बीमार है, नहीं चल सकते हैं, कुछ प्रॉब्लम के शिकार रहते हैं। ऐसा होना चाहिए कि प्रायर इन्फॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए। तो अगर ड्राइवर होता है तो पहले से इन्फॉर्म कर दे कि भाई एक का पेशा है, इस तरह के लोग थोड़े बीमार हैं, तो आप उनको लेने आ जाओ। तो इन्फॉर्मेशन पहले से ही पता होनी चाहिए। एक छोटी सी केस स्टडी थी राजू चौक मेट्रो स्टेशन की, जो कि डिस्कस करी मैंने। इसमें क्या कि आपने किसी तरह से केस स्टडी को करना है, एचआरवीसी एनालिसिस अपनी बिल्डिंग का कर सकते हैं। उसमें हमने पहले सबसे पहले देखना है कि क्या हमारे पॉसिबल, किस तरह के पॉसिबल हजार्ड्स हम देख सकते हैं, क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटी है डिजास्टर होने की, उनसे निपटने के लिए कि भाई हम क्या चीजें कर सकते हैं, क्या पॉसिबल वे निकाल सकते हैं फेस आउट होने के लिए, कि किस तरह से हमें बचाव करना है चीजों का। उसमें सबसे पहले हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि भाई देखने हैं और हमें पाथ जो जिनसे हम क्रॉस करते हैं वो चौड़ा है, नैरो है, तो उसमें कितने लोग एक टाइम पे निकल सकते हैं। इन सब चीजों का ध्यान रखते हुए डीएम प्लान बनाना है। यूनिवर्सिटी के बना सकते हैं। अभी हमने एक भगवान महावीर यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ प्रोग्राम किया था, तो वहां पे भी सजेस्ट किया था कि किस डीएम प्लान बनाना है। तो वी विल आल्सो फर्दर सजेस्ट यू पीपल। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू।
अरुण जी, लोगों को क्वेश्चन पूछने के लिए, क्वेश्चंस के लिए टाइम दे दीजिए प्लीज। चतुर्वेदी साहब के से अभी प्रेजेंटेशन से और आपके प्रेजेंटेशन से बच्चे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहें।
अगर किसी कोई क्वेरी है तो चैट बॉक्स में
या राइट कर दें, बच्चे राइट कर
सर, आप
दें, दे कैन राइट आल्सो। यस,
मेरे ख्याल से चैट बॉक्स में लिख दें। और अभी एक आधे घंटे का प्रेजेंटेशन और है, उसके बाद वील हैव 15 मिनट्स फॉर क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन।
अच्छा ठीक है
जी।
तो अभी आशीष पांडे जी बोल रहे हैं?
नहीं, शेखर बोले हैं, क्योंकि आशीष पांडे जी भी एक मीटिंग में चले गए हैं, तो उनका
ये तो बहुत बड़ा। विक्रम गुलजार भी नहीं है?
वो बाहर हैं,
ओहो,
उनकी फैमिली इमरजेंसी आ गई। तो दोनों के प्रेजेंटेशन मैं ले लूंगा 15 मिनट आधे घंटे में, और देन वील हैव अ क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन।
ठीक है, ठीक है।
आज कुछ न कुछ हो ही रहा है।
हाँ, आज प्लानिंग हमारी गड़बड़ हो गई है सारी। चलिए ठीक है, स्टार्ट करिए।
Over to Shekhar sir. You can start.
Share presentation right. Gaurav, presentation right for me, please. हेलो
सर, मैं कॉल कर रहा हूँ, एक मिनट।
हाँ। चलो, तब तक मैं बात करता हूँ कि हमें जो हमारा वी टॉक ऑफ डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट, जो हमारा अधिनियम कानून जो हमारा आया है डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के लिए, तो वो क्या है? the thing is that now I have the presenter right. I'll share my screen, and wherein I have the presentation, so I'll just open the presentation. So
टेलीफोन को बंद कराओ जरा, टेलीफोन को साइड कर दो, होल्ड में डाल दो टेलीफोन को, बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस हो रही है ना।
now let me talk of the Disaster Management Act. In 2005, we had Disaster Management Act.
शेखर जी टेलीफोन बज रहा है किसी का, मैं अरुण जी का या आपके उसका बंद कराओ जरा।
हाँ, मैं बंद कराता हूँ, 1 मिनट होल्ड कीजिए। किसका है टेलीफोन? हाँ हाँ, तो am I audible, Amrish जी?
Yeah, audible.
Yeah. So मेरी स्क्रीन भी दिख रही है?
दिख रही है
जी। तो now what in 2005 we had the Disaster Management Act passed, and since then the definition and the institutions that have come up for disaster management are in place. So in terms of Disaster Management Act, we have 11 chapters in that act, wherein 8 chapters are devoted entirely on institutions, where at the national level, at the state level, at the district level, and there is one entire chapter on the penalties, and also we have chapters on what exactly are the activities, etc., that can be done in terms of institutions and at the local level also. So this is what entirety of the Disaster Management Act is there. Here we see that the Disaster Management Act, although it was passed, but when we were talking of pandemic that came up, that is affecting the entire nation, so that pandemic was declared as the disasters as the national disaster, and then this Disaster Management Act was invoked, and the disaster management funding that this Disaster Management Act has given at the national, state, and district level, that funding could be used for management and prevention of this corona virus that has attacked COVID. So Arun has already explained this slide. Just to reiterate what things have been done is that we have to wear masks. We have to regularly wash our hands with soap and water. The washing pattern is there for about 20 seconds or so. We should avoid touching our ear, nose, and eyes. Then we avoid touching our nose, ear, and eyes, and mouth. We also should have, instead of this social distancing, it should rather be called physical distancing of 6 feet, so that whatever the particles are suspended on in the air, they fall down before reaching the next person. The places which are regularly being touched upon by different people are to be sanitized regularly. So this is what usually, if the community follows, then we all know that the third wave of thing, the coronavirus wave, the recent wave has risen up, and it is now say it is very devastating, because the loss of life is attributed to this coronavirus. So it is the community who has to come up as you can say, as an awareness or as an advocacy. The community should come up and take up this safety prevention from coronavirus. So the clue that our Honorable Prime Minister has given us is that no carelessness until there is vaccine or cure. So जब तक दवाई नहीं, तब तक ढिलाई नहीं. So we usually come up whenever we are calling somebody. So we hear the voice of Amitabh Bachchan saying all these activities. So that is again part of community awareness that is being done, and involving community in a more realistic way to address the issues of coronavirus. So this is what we have to follow, and if we follow, then we are not only saving ourselves, but we are saving our neighbors also, we are saving our family also. So that is what we have to see. So this presentation is in two parts. One is Disaster Management Act, the disaster management plan under the Disaster Management Act and policy, and the tools that we use for making the disaster management plan. So provisions of DiEM Act, that we go to the district level in terms of disaster management plan, because the disaster management, the actual activity on ground is being done at the district level. So, but this Disaster Management Act talks of disaster management plan at every level, for every entity, even though they are universities, the educational institutions, the departments, the factories, the industries, everybody should have a disaster management plan. This act gives you that provision and mandates every entity to have a disaster management plan. In fact, every office should also have a disaster management plan. It defines the roles and responsibilities, the relationships, the coordination mechanism between national, state, and district level. That is our federal structure. What should be the funding? It also talks about the funding mechanism of disaster management. It also talks of the effectiveness for the response, and under this response, it has constituted a disaster management force, which is called National Disaster Management Force, National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, which has 12 places where they are placed, and each battalion of this NDRF has 1100 people who are addressing the disasters of particular area where they are, which falls in their purview. They also have this NDRF also has the people from the paramilitary forces, which are Central Armed Police Forces, that is SSB, and then you have CISF, CRPF, BSF. All these forces, they depute people in this. NIDM has been constituted under this, given the statutory status under this act, to play the role of capacity building institution at the national level. It also has the mandate of addressing the helping the issues of disaster management, helping the state level institutions, helping universities, helping state governments in terms of policies and plan. So that basically capacity building activities being taken care of by NIDM, and the plan preparation and approval is rests with the authorities at different levels, that is national, state, and district. So if we talk of national policy, it came up in 2009. That policy also stresses upon major roles, gives the path of how this disaster management activity should be taken care of on ground. And it also talks of the various activities such as relief, rehabilitation, awareness generation, capacity building. So all these activities also stresses that the plan is important in terms of disasters. When we talk of disasters, the plan is important, the information is important, dealing with the media is important, information sharing is important, early warning is important, communication figures is important. So all these activities, the policy talks about that. And then this is the constitution of district. This is the constitution of district level disaster management authority. One is that collector is the head. We have 7 members under this. We also added on the elected representative, that is the Zilla Parishad chairperson, as the co-chair of this DDMA. There are other members who become part of this DDMA, and you have the provisions of adding on or nominating to a few of the officers in this DDMA. And the role of DDMA is very, very large. It can get institutions, it can get people. It has the power of requisitioning the institutions, the equipment, the manpower, for if it thinks fit to for managing the disasters. So that power is vested with DDMA. DDMA also has the function of preparing the district level DM plan and assisting in preparation of plans at sub-district level, institutional level, within which falls within their jurisdiction. So they have to act as the bridge between the district level, sub-district level plans and the state level plans, because all the plans till the national level, they have to be in synchronization, because unless and until they are in synchronization, the activities, the relationship, the coordination will be affected. So all the plans are to be in sync with each other. District level plan should fall part of state level plan. State level plan should fall part of national level plan. So how things are being done is what this act talks about, and these are the powers and functions of DDMA, that how they have to assist, coordinate, implement the disaster management plans and the policies that the national level has, state level has given them. They also, as in the previous presentation, Arun was talking about the analysis of hazard and vulnerability. So that becomes the part of disaster management plan, and it is the function of DDMA to analyze the vulnerability of their area, to analyze the resources that are to be utilized for addressing the issues. It has to identify the hazards that can affect their area, and or based on this analysis, they have to develop the SOPs, they have to develop the resources plan, they have to develop the road plan, they have to develop the communication plan, medical plan, food plan, etc. Every plan has to be developed, and then the entirety of all plans, if they put together, they becomes the disaster management plan of particular area. So guidelines which are being developed at the national level and the state level, the DDM has the function to say activate and implement those guidelines on ground. They have to assist the people who are the organizations who are within their jurisdiction to prepare the DM plan, what DM plan must have, how the DM plan should carry out being implemented, who are the stakeholders who have to be included in that, who are the stakeholders, what roles these stakeholders are to be given, and how the media is to be tackled, how the organizations who are coming from outside the district are to be licensed and distributed within the area for managing the disasters. These are all the functions that DDMA has to perform on ground. So these are the guidelines for the departments. They have to lay down the guidelines. And if you visit the site of NDMA, that is www.ndma.gov.in, then we find that they have the format for a state disaster management plan and the district disaster management plan. And based on those plans, basically, if you change that the entity from district to your organization, then the entire format gives you the path how to make a plan at your level, at your institution level. So that is what is to be taken care of and implemented on ground. Every entity, every university, and every organization has to make a plan as mandated under the DM Act. And in terms of capacity building, NIDM has taken an initiative of making a India University and Institutions Network, which will standardize the disaster management capacity building curriculum, basic curriculum, and then the universities can take up those basic curriculum in terms of disaster management. So building the capacity is also the responsibility of NIDM under the Act, and also the how to prepare the plan, the process, the transferring of the process of preparation of the plan is the part of NIDM's mandate, and under this mandate, NIDM is working. So and we are doing this program under that mandate. Preparedness measures, yes, you have, the DDM has to review those preparedness measures in terms of entire district which falls under their jurisdiction, because including the departments, including the organizations, including the community, the preparedness level has to be maintained, has to be reviewed, and has to be updated by DDMA. And if they feel that there is a gap in terms of response, in terms of awareness, in terms of utilization of the resources, in terms of process oriented functioning of any organization, or so they can also arrange for the they have the function of arranging the training of such people, so that the performance of those people increases, and the effectiveness of coordinated effort for managing the disasters is added on. So when we these are also the programs. Facilitation is what facilitation of the trainings, facilitation of awareness drives, facilitation of posters. You might have seen in terms of when we are facing this going in the environment of coronavirus, that pandemic. So you might have seen that you have different awareness generation drives, the for the corona warriors, for the patients, for the stigma that the patients are getting. That awareness generation training, etc., is also the part of functioning of the DDMA. So the evaluation, as we were talking in terms of planning process, evaluation mechanism, updating mechanism, that is basically part of function of the district level authority. And for any DM plan and assistance, the university, the Central University, Himachal Pradesh, or any other university, they can approach the DDMA to assist, to provide the guidelines, how the disaster management plan they can prepare for their entity, so that they also fall in place, and in terms of responding, in terms of making assistance to the state government or the district level authorities. Coordination in terms of response, in terms of calling on the national agencies, calling on the NDRF, calling on the SDRF, utilization of the resources which fall part of the different organizations. They have the jurisdictional approach to the different organizations, different universities. to assist in terms of disaster management activities. And I'll give you an example on that. We did a program in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, for different officials on general disaster management, and we had 5 or 6 professors of various state universities attending those programs. And when we went back to Raipur for another program, we could see that all those 6 and 7 professors who were there, they were part of the different committees of disaster management for their respective districts from where they have come in to attend the program. So that was good to see for us also. And also the utilization of the trained resources by the district authorities was also good to see that they have faith on their organization and their people. So that thing is also part of DDMA. So they have to, as per Act, they have to identify people who can be resourced to them and who can be resourced to their organizations in terms of disaster management. Advise, assist, coordinate. We were talking. Provide technical assistance is what is one of the major areas where DDMA has to function as per the Act. That they have to provide technical assistance in terms of disaster management plans. So authorities, local authorities, or the universities, or RWAs, if they are there, they can approach their local authorities and the DDMAs in terms of organization of, say, evacuation drill, mock drill for disaster management, fire drill, or how the planning is to be made. They can approach DDMA and take the technical assistance, technical guidance from them, and prepare that plan and have a discussion of how whether that plan is in sync with the district plan, or they have to amend it and according to the district plan. So in terms of hilly region, there is one bigger area where the problems are to be addressed is the construction practices. So that construction practices also falls under the purview of DDMA, that they have to ensure that as per the available resources, as per the guidelines, as per the area protocol, the construction practices should be taken up, and a certain standard is to be followed. Provide provision of basic facilities to all who are there is basically part of the DDMA. So we see as I was talking, that they work as a bridge between the SDMAs and the sub-district level organizations. So those all engaging NGOs, CBOs, volunteer organizations, universities, local community, everybody, involvement of those, encouraging those, coordinating with them, all these are become the part of DDMAs. So this they have to prepare that. They have to send the copy. You as an university have to send the copy to the DDMA for approval, who in turn, with all the plans, they consolidate and prepare their district level plan. They send it to that district level plan to SDMA for approval, and provide for how the plan is to be implemented on ground. So these are the activities that thing is done. So the plan that is to be taken, the response plan, is in terms of universities. What we can do, you have different departments who are working. So every department, if they make a plan, if they identify a small committee within their department, that in terms of any eventuality within their department, this committee will function as the disaster management team. So and they have the clear rules and responsibilities. So entire departments of the university will have different plans, and the administration of the university can consolidate those plans and take out the gist, so that that becomes the plan of the university, with clear roles and responsibilities of people, departments, administration, and the mechanism of liaising with the district authorities or local authorities. That entire activity can be planned at the university level, so that whenever any eventuality happens to a nearby area, so you have that capacity, and you have that trust of your local authority, so that people can fall back upon you to assist your neighboring areas, and so that will give the boost to the university as well. Communication links, yes, every disaster, the casualty has first casualty is the communication and the coordination. So communication link, you must have alternate communication link, which every in terms of say telephonic things, satellite telephones have been provided to each and every district authorities. So that ham radio concept is also there, that amateur radio, ham radio, the Ministry of Communication and IT give you the license. That becomes a handy communication source for people within the university, so that they can have a tie-up, they can have a communication link established even when the disaster strikes. So that activity, preparedness activity, mitigation activity can be taken up by the university authorities, to have certain at least one person in each of the department, or say tackling 2 or 3 departments, one person having a license of ham, so that the communication setup within the university is established, or they can have satellite communication facility within their hotline facility with the district authorities and within the different departments. So that process can be done. Information flow, yes, information flow is lateral everywhere. So that lateral information is to be synchronized with what analyzed with the right kind of information to be processed for right kind of person, so that that information is meaningful and can be acted upon. So these are all the response plan that are to be taken care of. Different departments have to make the plan that acts phase. Then we come to the role of local authorities. You can put university in place of local authorities. So whatever activities are being done by the local authorities within your campus, within your university premises, you can have different committees, train those different committees, place the resources that you have in terms of disasters if they can happen in your area. You can have the awareness activity, the advocacy activity for the construction activity. Utilize your manpower, utilize your student power to sensitize the people for having right kind of construction activities being followed, and also utilize those student power to assist in terms of whenever there is a crisis happens, if not in actual response, but in terms of guide to the responding authorities who have come from outside, and also the assistance in terms of food distribution, in terms of taking the in terms of guiding the children who are in the relief camp, in terms of providing help in the relief camp, in terms of managing the relief camp. Those activities can be taken up by the student power of the universities. So this I have already talked about, that NIDM has the power to requisite any organization, any person, any equipment if it deems fit, that it can be it is deemed fit to be utilized in terms of disaster management within that area. So they can utilize those, they can requisite those functions. So in terms of the act, that was the thing. Tools, yes, these are the tools which we usually use in the PLA activities. Those tools can be utilized for preparation of a disaster management plan. That is, you can have a transit walk across the area for which you are making the plan, talk to the people, have the focus group discussions, map the area in terms of utilize the people who are there around when you are walking. Have the talk to the elderly people to have the history of the disasters, seasons of the disasters, impact of the disasters, how what are the important positions, important places where people can be taken in turn whenever the eventuality strikes. Map those areas, map the resources where they are, place the resources in terms of after identifying the vulnerable areas, place the resources so that they reach the vulnerable areas in the minimum possible time. Then based on this, also identify the capacity that your area has, so that can be accessed by people whenever any emergency strikes, and they can be utilized. So this becomes your hazard analysis and vulnerability analysis, and based on these analysis you can rank those hazards, and you can have the SOPs, the committees, etc., in terms of university to address those vulnerable areas, to address those things, and address the activity, prepared for any eventuality emergency. So the contents of disaster management plan, you ought to have the first chapter should have area profile, wherein you have the demographic profile, the manpower, the population, etc., all those. The second chapter comes in with hazard profile, hazard identification should be there. Third, vulnerability analysis, fourth, capacity analysis, and based on these three chapters, you can have the risk profile, risk profile of your area. Then you can have, based on this risk profile, you can have the and the capacity analysis, that what resources you have in terms of mitigating the effect of the disaster, what resources are needed, and what is the gap, and then your plan starts that in terms of mitigating the taking the mitigation plan, where you can fill in those gaps, your communication, your media communication, your identification of the right places where they can be, the people can be transferred, in terms of then the preparedness activities that you can, the awareness activities, response activities that you can take up, the SOPs of different committees that you have made, and your tie-up with the outside people who are outside your university, how they can help you, that entire thing, wherein you can get the relief, where you will say get the relief placed, and how you can distribute the relief. So this all, and then you have the checklist. Checklist has the information of the telephone numbers and of the important important persons who you must contact. And this checklist, these important telephone numbers, emergency telephone numbers, are to be placed in different places, so that it has the accessibility of each and every person who passes through. Then you can earmark the budget also for making a plan. So this is how the plan is to be made, and what Act says about the plan. So this is the entirety of the my session. So thank you very much, and now we are open for the question answer session. wherein participants can put up the questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So he or she can write in the chat box, we can take. सवाल है, पूछना चाहता है तो वो अपना चैट बॉक्स में लिख दे। सर अभी तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है।
Let us wait. Any question? There is a question of Ms. Preeti. What are the obstacles for a smooth functioning of NDMA? Why we are unable to tackle the disasters on time? Madam Preeti, let me talk about the obstacles in the functioning of NDMA. See, basically, addressing the issue of disaster management is not one man's baby. It is basically everybody is to be involved. Everybody has to play the role. So the obstacles are not there. The only obstacle is that people coordination with NDMA is a little bit lacking. And because disasters in India are the responsibility of the state government. So state government has to take up the issue before NDMA takes up, unless and until it is a national disaster or after the recent directive from the Supreme Court, the central government has to start preparations beforehand for helping the state governments or the area which is devastated by any disaster. So that is one thing. So no obstacles are not there. The only obstacle is that one, disasters are state level subject, and number two, involvement of the community at a bigger way is what is needed on ground. Thank you. Any other question? Shweta Sharma. There is one question of Shweta Sharma. How COVID-19 can be considered as a boon for improving the functioning of NIDM? Dr. Shweta, yes, you have asked a very good question, that how functional of NIDM this COVID-19. In terms of NIDM, we are in close contact with different agencies in the central level also and in the state level also. We are part of the central team which is visiting different places for analyzing the situation, and we are getting the information from the state. We are compiling the state level information and the national level information, and in turn we are enriching our training programs for better management of COVID-19. So that is what I think she was meaning. So that is what, thank you on that issue. Any other question? Ankur Pandey, FCRA Act will impact disaster planning. No, I don't think Ankur, the FCRA Act will impact on disaster planning on ground, because see, whatever activities that is being done by NGOs is never questioned. But yes, if they are working on the ground, they are in any case, usually NGOs are registered with their state government, and the state government is taking up the issues about the FCRA Act. So I don't think this FCRA Act will in any case say hinder the functioning of the NGOs on ground in terms of disaster planning. Thank you. Any other question, Arun?
As time is concerned, sir, shall we go for a validatory session?
Yes, we can go
We
for
will request
validatory
Professor
session.
A.K. Mahajan, sir, for a validatory. Sir, it is online phone.
Anyway, maybe he's I think busy in the on the phone line. So if there is no more question, then from an IDM side, I must say that we are happy that we have started the collaboration with Central University Himachal, and we will surely be taking this association in a long way ahead. Not only in terms of online programs, but also in terms of documentation activities, research activities with Central University. Thank you from my side. Over to you, Amrish ji.
मैं आपको बता दूं, अभी आपने डॉक्टर श्वेता से बात किया, हम ये रखे कि सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ जम्मू एज वेल एज सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ हिमाचल प्रदेश और चलें, क्योंकि जो भी एक्टिविटीज हम करेंगे, और ये एक एक्चुअली क्या है ना, सिस्टर कंसर्न्स हैं एक किस्म से, और हिमालय पूरा अर्थक्वेक प्रोन है, आप जानते हैं जी। में ऐसी एक्टिविटीज बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी हैं कि जहां पर हम अर्थक्वेक अवेयरनेस के ऊपर फोकस करें, डिजास्टर मिटिगेशन प्लान पे फोकस करें। आज की डेट में आप जानते हैं कि कितने अर्थक्वेक हुए, 90s के दशक में बहुत सारे अर्थक्वेक हुए हिंदुस्तान में, उसके बाद अर्थक्वेक की फ्रीक्वेंसी कम हो गई है, मगर it is sure that there are a lot of strain is accumulating in the region. So when a lot of strain is accumulating, so expected is earthquake are expected at any time. So we need to make a plan. I had discussions with the District Disaster Management Authority in Kangra also, and I am preparing their plan for the land use plan of vulnerability analysis and all these things, because I have already done the seismic microregion of Kangra Valley, and landslide hazard mapping of Kangra Valley has already been done. So I think this type of activities need to be concentrated all along the Himalayan region, where even Professor Deepak Patani and Professor Astu from NIT Hamirpur, they have joined the program. So they also be party to this program, because they also wanted that NIDM should come forward to our institutions, and we will have a jointly programs on different aspects, on earthquake and awareness, on mitigations plans and all the response plans. So you see, there are a lot of gaps. Whenever there is a disaster, we are well fail in responding in the time. If you look at the health hazard which has come so far, see, I have the opinion that evacuation was, if the evacuation would have been migrant labor have been planned earlier, there could have been a different scenario. But anyhow, this is the NIDM, NDMA people over there to suggest a word. I'm having a right perspective on that. But anyhow, my point is that this area is full of landslides, earthquake, as well as flash floods. So we need to focus on these three areas and have a collaborative programs with all these areas, so that we can work fastly and have at least something we can do for the nation. Something do, because we have the students, so we can do something for the nation. Thank you.
So thank you, Amrish ji, for bringing out this issue. So what we can suggest is that we can have at least one program with each of the collaborating institutions, wherein we have Jammu, we have Hamirpur. So with those educational institutions being a nodal, we can have at least one programs wherein other two institutions can join in, and we can have the focus program for their area. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other
Thank you.
question
So,
from Jammu University or NIT Hamirpur?
Thank you, sir.
Any
Thank you
question
all.
from
Thank
NIT
you.
Hamirpur, Jammu? There's nothing.
nothing. Anyway, we can have other programs with them as the host institution and other two institutions joining in. So hope we were able to satisfy the expectations from the program. Although it was a general program, we can have different focus programs also in terms of training. We can now from the webinar we can graduate to the training program, which we organize for 3 days on specified focused areas, so that actually what we all, and Amrish ji was also saying, that we can do for the nation, we can do for the people, we can work for the betterment of our society. So that is what all we are aiming at. So that is all what is from my side. So we are open to your request for the programs, so that we can conduct the programs.
शेखर जी, मेरी एक और बात है
जी
क्योंकि बहुत सारे बच्चे or they may be expecting some words in terms of their career. How you can see the career and disaster management for the students who have been attending this?
In terms of career, what I can say is that we have different state universities, we have different now that disaster management has been part of university sector also, we have different NGOs who are coming up, whether national or international NGOs who are aiming at utilizing the student manpower for the charter of duties that they have. So we have a lot of scope in terms of the disaster management authorities also, in terms of district authorities also, in terms of NGOs also, and in terms of education sector as well, because now that disaster management subject is there in the university level also, and in the local institution level also. So
my point is that as the environment science, one of the subject is running in most of the universities, and it is made compulsory that environment scientists only or teachers can teach the environment science department. So similarly, if we make NIDM or NDMA should make a request to the UGC that all institutions should have a disaster management course, experts from the disaster management field or having taught or studied disaster management should be employable. So then in disaster management का जो topic है उसको भी impetus मिलेगा, काम भी बढ़ेगा और साथ में बच्चों की employment भी होगी.
हाँ नहीं वो
सजेशन आपकी तरफ से जानी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल उसमें मेरे ख्याल से हम लोग ने जो ये जिसमें आप भी मेंबर हैं, जो ये इंस्टीट्यूशन और यूनिवर्सिटी का जो नेटवर्क हम लोग बना रहे हैं, तो उसमें हम लोग ने यूजीसी और एआईयू दोनों को ही पार्टनर बनाया है, एआईसीटी को भी पार्टनर बनाया है. तो वी होप टू टेक दिस इश्यूज, क्योंकि ये इशू आते हैं कि एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के तहत अंतर्गत हमारा डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट बढ़ नहीं पा रहा है. तो उस क्वेश्चन को देखते हुए हम लोग ने यूजीसी वगैरह को रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि एक तो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एज ए सब्जेक्ट तो इंट्रोड्यूस आप हर जगह करा ही दीजिए, और दूसरा ये है कि एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के लिए जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं बाहर और जो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में काम करना चाहते हैं, तो उनका चाहे स्टार्टअप के तौर पे हो, चाहे जो भी हो, उसके तौर पे यूजीसी की तरफ से एक डायरेक्शन या यूजीसी की तरफ से एक गाइडलाइन, एक वो टाई अप हो जाना चाहिए इंस्टीट्यूशन से कि हमारे जो बच्चे निकलेंगे डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के लिए, उनका एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी कैसे होगी। तो वो वी आर इन टच विद यूजीसी ऑन दैट इशू, और थैंक यू फॉर अगेन फोकसिंग ऑन दैट। सो तो जो भी होता है उसको हम आपको इंटीमेट करेंगे और आगे कोशिश करेंगे कि और बड़ी एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी बढ़े। So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shekhar, and thank you, Dr. Arun Verma, for having nice discussions and presentations today on the important topic why planning is important for disaster risk management. And I hope my students and others benefited this 2 hours discussions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.